This is the Wrestling Replay. I am Cato. Welcome back to episode number 52. Today we're going to do something a little different. We have the road to Wrestlemania. It is finally upon us. Royal Rumble 2023. We're going to give my prediction, my breakdown, my run through of where I think the storylines should go leading into WrestleMania, after WrestleMania. Who I think will win these matches at the Royal Rumble. Now, maybe it's me, but I feel like the Royal Rumble card used to be a little bit bigger. Maybe it's for the fact that I'm not accounting for the pre-show. Maybe that's probably it. But nonetheless, happy to be back. Finally got everything working and up again. So let's go ahead and jump into this video. We start off the Royal Rumble with Logan Paul and Kevin Owens, which I think will be actually a really good matchup. If you notice in the past, Logan Paul has always done a great job when he's with good in-ring workers, guys who can really call an action inside the ring, because Logan Paul has the athleticism to be a wrestler. He has the skill set, and he clearly puts in the work to be a good professional wrestler. So we can see that. We can see that about him. So with him being in the match with somebody like Kevin Owens, a veteran like him who can call the action inside the ring, who can kind of read the crowd and see where to go next and kind of navigate him through that matchup, it should lead for a really good matchup to kick off the Royal Rumble. Now, one thing about this is I'm going to say the United States title is probably the title so far in the WWE. When you think about the Universal Championship, when you think about the Intercontinental Championship, these guys have had long historic runs, right? And I feel like we've always gone through that uphill, downhill battle with the United States title of people constantly trying to give it some prestige, trying to make it relevant again. We've seen John Cena way back with the Open Challenge, trying to make that title mean something again. We've seen video packages come through as of late, trying to make that United States title, seem as important as it once was in WCW. I don't think we've got there yet, but I think this is actually going to be us on the start of getting to that path. I think that Kevin Owens goes over Logan Paul in the matchup. Clearly to me, you need that title on TV to make it relevant. Kevin Owens and Sami had a great run as tag team. Man's become tag team champions and a great storyline with the bloodline. So he's done everything that he could do inside of that tag team matchup. Inside that tag team division. Now I think it's time for him to branch off and become singles again and get back to help building, prestige to that championship. He is a guy who I don't see right now in the world title picture. So if he's now in the world title picture, he's going to fall to that mid card, which is cool. It's okay being there. You see guys like The Miz who makes a living at the mid card and can still go and main event one of your shows and you wouldn't bat an eye at it. I feel like Kevin Owens is going to be in that same type of boat. Now, what I really like about Kevin Owens becoming the United States Championship, becoming the United States champion, is the fact that I don't think he's going to be the guy to hold that title for 8, 9, 10 months. I think what happens after he wins that championship is where we're really trying to get to, because I think we're going to build a nice little feud between Kevin Owens and LA Knight. I know LA Knight's in the main event. Everybody want him to become a Universal Champion. Not going to happen. I don't see that happening at all. But it makes sense though, right? They didn't expect LA Knight to have that buzz that he got. He kind of went out there as Max Dupree. It didn't work. Got rid of that. And he created his own buzz. The universe got behind him organically. It wasn't something that they, tried to manufacture together. And honestly, I think his job was actually on the rocks, because they didn't really know what to do with him on SmackDown, on one of your main brands. So him coming out, making LA Knight pop, getting the crowd behind him, leading the sales and merchandise, stuff like that. Like, that means a lot. It's saying something. It's like, okay, we got something here. But at the same time, I don't see him in that world title picture yet. I know, not yet. At least I don't see him ending the streak against Roman Reigns. To be honest, I don't see him doing that. But what I can see him doing is having a great feud with Kevin Owens. These two are great on the microphone, great inside the ring. The promos you're going to get is going to be amazing. The action you're going to get between the two is going to be amazing. And this is a matchup I can see that can happen at WrestleMania. This should be a big match on the card for WrestleMania if they decide to go that route. Now, if they decide to go the route of allowing Logan Paul to somehow weasel his way back into a rematch, and you have that at WrestleMania, Logan Paul bringing his fan base to WrestleMania, understandable. But you can still push Kevin Owens and LA Knight to something like a Backlash or a SummerSlam or something like that. I think LA Knight is going to be the one to really bring prestige to that championship. I think he's going to be the one to bring that longevity, possibly that 8-9 month, maybe a year run as United States champion before they allow LA Knight to go on and win that Universal or WWE championship, one or the other. But I think LA Knight would be just perfect because he's going to have an array of superstars that you can pair him with. It's going to be a good story and good action inside the ring. You got guys like Santos Escobar. That's going to be really good. He's right there in that mid card. You still got Austin Theory, who is a former United States champion. You got guys like AJ Styles. You got guys like Grayson Waller, who's coming up, and that's going to be a nice stepping stone for guys like him because it's like, hey, I can go toe-to-toe with your superstars right now. So I'm going to be one of the guys that's going to be leading you into the future, leading you guys into, the next era of wrestling as a young up-and-coming champion. So I can see LA Knight kind of ushering that for those guys and then move on to winning the World Championship or, Universal, whatever the case may be. But that's how I see the match playing out with Logan Paul. I see Kevin Owens walking away with the United States Championship. I don't think Logan Paul underhanded tactics is going to work. Maybe we'll see Sami Zayn pop up and stop all the friends that Logan Paul has coming in to help him to win these matches. I can see something like that going on. Royal Rumble's a big event. You never know who's going to pop up. Speaking of Royal Rumble and popping up, let's jump into the women's Royal Rumble match. And for me, honestly, it's simple. It's simple to me. You either get Sasha Banks and or Naomi back, and they're going to win the Royal Rumble. Period. I don't see the point of having someone like Nia Jax win. The seeds has already been planted with her and Rhea Ripley. We don't need Nia Jax to win the Royal Rumble for her to get her shot at Rhea Ripley. Rhea is already accepting of the challenge, so that would kind of be just a waste. You already got a storyline brewing there. Just finish it off and let it cap off at a WrestleMania. Now, if we don't get a Sasha Banks or Naomi coming back, my pick to win it is Bayley. Let Bayley have her WrestleMania moment. Let her come out and challenge Io Sky. Let Damage Control decide, hey, Bayley, we never really made you the leader. You kind of self-proclaimed yourself as a leader. So we're going to kind of kick you out of Damage Control. That's going to be a great storyline, and possibly we get Sasha Banks and Naomi to come maybe watch her back at WrestleMania when she has a WrestleMania moment. That would be a cool, feel-good moment. We know that Sasha Banks is a free agent. I'm not sure about Naomi for the fact that she's with TNA, but she did drop that TNA Women's Championship, so I'm not actually sure about her contract. But even if you just get Sasha Banks back to come watch her best friend back while she attained that championship against Damage Control, take it away from Damage Control, I should say, I think that's going to make for a really good story leading up to WrestleMania. It's going to make for a good story after WrestleMania with the return of Sasha Banks. And I think it's going to be a good feel-good moment because Bayley deserves her WrestleMania moment. She deserves to win that championship there. Possibly main event. I don't know because there's a lot of big matches going on. But I could see her main event in maybe night one of WrestleMania. I think that'd be pretty cool in itself. Now, as far as people popping up and, showing up at the Royal Rumble, I see maybe Ronda Rousey, a little bit of Lita, a little bit of Trish Stratus. I would, and I think Nikita Lyons. I would like to see her debut at the Royal Rumble because she can be somebody who pops in even if she doesn't win. She doesn't have to go to Monday Night Raw nor SmackDown. She can go back to NXT and, it wouldn't be any love lost. And you can kind of bring her up later on in 2024. Now, I thought about Jade Cargill, right? I thought about, man, if she debuted in the Royal Rumble, that would be pretty dope. But at the same time, her star power is actually so up right now. If you debut her and bring her into the Royal Rumble and she doesn't win the Royal Rumble, I feel like it would be a waste, because I feel like Jade is someone that should come in and be able to automatically start to dominate, right? I'm not saying just go and push her straight to championship or superstardom, whatever, but let her come in and dominate these women on her ascension, on her rise to that championship matchup. Now, if you let her win the Royal Rumble, you really have a small window. You kind of handicap yourself now of really building her up to be a legit contender against Rhea or against Io Sky. And I think that would be a waste. It wouldn't really make sense to me right now, especially with both women being heels. So I don't see Jade winning. I don't even see her popping up in the Royal Rumble. I would love to see her maybe at ringside or watch her from the back, something like that, kind of putting everybody in notice, like, yo, I'm watching and I'm next and I'm coming, but I think Bayley's gonna be my pick to win the women's Royal Rumble. Now for the men's side, it gets tricky. We got the return of CM Punk, right? I don't want to see CM Punk win that Royal Rumble. We already have a build between him and Seth Rollins when he first made his debut at Survivor Series. They made it a point for you to see the reaction of Seth Rollins. Even with him being a babyface, they made it so that you've seen the real reaction of Seth Rollins seeing CM Punk standing at the top of the ramp, right? You're a babyface. You shouldn't be reacting so angry. I could see maybe some shock. I could see maybe, a nonchalant or a shock look, something like that. But I don't understand why they allowed him to act so angry, for you not to start building already CM Punk and Seth Rollins. CM Punk shouldn't have to win the Royal Rumble for him and Seth Rollins to go at it. Cody Rhodes, I don't want to see Cody win it back to back. Him and Seth Rollins already have history. I think if you want to build that matchup, you can build it just on the history they already have alone. Now, what I do see possibly happening, is somebody the likes of a Drew McIntyre winning. I can see Drew McIntyre winning because he feel like this is the only way I'm going to get my title shot. I feel like you're letting people in front of me. You got Jinder Mahal getting a title shot before I get a title shot. He's feel like he's being stiff. So I could see him actually maybe making a deal, maybe in an alliance with somebody and saying, yo, I want to go out here and win this Royal Rumble so I can defeat Seth Rollins. Damian Priest, maybe you want the shot after that, you can have it, or whatever. I don't know, whatever the case may be, but I could see someone like Damian Priest and his story with Seth Rollins kind of matching up and making for a good case to fight at WrestleMania and him winning that Royal Rumble. If he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, this is like my sleeper pick, man. This it may not happen. I wouldn't mind if it does, though. We see The Rock debut at the Royal Rumble, and the Rock wins. He goes over. One, he's not being heavily advertised to be at the Royal Rumble. I don't think anyone's expecting him to be at the Royal Rumble. And if he does pop up in the Royal Rumble, by the time he pops up at number 26 through 30, it's going to be a big shock. It's going to be a big pop. And at that moment, the crowd is going to want The Rock to win. Now, the reason The Rock win is because now, Roman, you have to face me. There is no, weaseling your way out. There is no you hiding behind stipulations of maybe someone else's number one contender type thing. Whatever Paul Heyman may try to draw up, now you have to face me at WrestleMania. And we need that final completion. Well, I'm not going to say the completion, but we need that closing of the chapter in this bloodline story. And the only problem I see here is I don't want to see The Rock as the world champion, as a universal champion. But he has to defeat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania to kind of close this door, to close this chapter for right now. And I think the only way to do that would be for maybe a disqualification win at WrestleMania. Of course, people would be pissed, but if that disqualification win leads to a shocking return or debut for someone in this bloodline story, I think we'll be okay. I think we could build on it, and I think people won't mind. Or maybe a twist where Solo turns on Roman Reigns. Well, not turn on, but kind of doesn't lend him any assistance. And now you get your beef between Solo and Roman, and now that bloodline torch, that tribal chief can kind of pass it on now. Because ultimately, I think Solo is the one that's going to have to carry the torch of this bloodline story. Honestly, I want it to be Jay. I think Jay should be the one to become the Universal Champion. I think he put in great work. All his matches with Roman has been amazing, and we'll really break that down about Jay and Roman in our Bloodline episode. We'll do that there. But I can see The Rock winning the Royal Rumble. I can see The Rock going on to face Roman at WrestleMania, and then I can see somehow a disqualification win for The Rock. I don't see them bringing The Rock there to lose. But, hey, it possibly could happen, because you know what it's going to do? That's going to make Roman Reigns look even more powerful as the head of the table. And not only that, whoever defeats Roman Reigns, they're going to be instantly launched into superstardom. They're going to be instantly the man. You know, whether it's someone that you think deserves it or not, whoever defeats him, whoever defeats Gunther, those guys are going to be launched into a great space in their career. So that's how I see the Men's Royal Rumble match playing out. Drew McIntyre, if not, my sleeper pick The Rock to come in and win it all. Now, for this Universal Championship match, I mean, I pretty much gave it all away, right? I don't see LA Knight winning. I see him also going for that United States Championship with Kevin Owens. I think that's going to be a great rivalry. I don't see AJ Styles winning, only because he's kind of just come back, right? And right now, I just don't see AJ Styles in that, leading role. I don't see him as a Universal Champ or a WWE Champ right now. I could kind of see him in the mid-card role as well, which isn't bad. It's just that he hasn't been able to build much momentum since his return. And that's the same thing for Randy Orton. But I can also see them building LA Knight and AJ Styles feud leading into maybe later on in the year by it starting here. AJ Styles already wanted Randy Orton, and he already wanted LA Knight out of his business going forward. So that kind of already planted the seed for what can possibly happen next. So if we can get LA Knight, AJ Styles later on as his first contender for that United States Championship, that'd be pretty dope. And Randy, only thing with Randy, you just don't have, same thing with AJ Styles. He just returned, don't have much momentum. You allowed him to be the contestant in that Survivor Series matchup, helping this team win. Then you throw him on SmackDown, and it was just like, all right, he's kind of in limbo right now. But if we're not going to get the return of Matt Riddle and RK Bro, I'm not sure what you do with Randy Orton, to be honest. I really, really don't. We know he wants to get his revenge on the Bloodline. These were people who took him out in the first place. So that could kind of play into my whole The Rock at WrestleMania, and he's going to need a little bit of help. He's going to need people there to kind of, keep Jimmy and Solo out the way. So maybe that's where Randy inserts himself. Maybe that's where Jay inserts himself. And maybe that's how, we get a conclusion at WrestleMania. I don't know, but those are my picks. Those is how I see, that's how I see everything going down at the Royal Rumble. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, man. I'm Cato, signing out. Peace.